Trained by day, Kyle Wigginton podcast by night, all day.
NOLA Tarot 504.
Okay.
Yes.
Which also, it sparked my interest immediately.
Well, sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the name.
Well, I have a huge
tells
interest in like the esoteric sciences and stuff.
Okay.
So when I see anyone who's like, that's their brand, I'm like, okay, tell me everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how did you get involved in this, and what is this project?
Yeah. So this project has been 4 years in the making.
Mm-hmm.
4 years ago, actually, like October, I started taking a class where I was learning about reading tarot. I was working with this guy who is an intuitive counselor before. And he was like, hey, teaching this class, I think you would be perfect for it. So it was a small class, just like 4 of us met weekly, and we learned, how to like really tap into your inner wisdom in reading cards with the signs and the symbols and how to put it together and create a narrative and create a story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting in this class, and my brain just goes, well, the Fool, instead of on the cliff about to fall off, he's this guy, this fool walking down Bourbon Street, spilling his drink with a drunk 2 shirt, and so it's like I would sit there and I would visualize that the tarot, but New Orleans.
Right.
And then once I started getting on that route of just thinking of it, it was like, oh, game on. Like, we're going to play. So in the traditional tarot deck, there are 78 cards.
Is there a reason for that?
So there's 21 major incarna cards.
Okay.
And then there's 4 suits, just like regular playing cards, the 4 suits. The 21 major incarna are your main archetypes. So when these cards show up, it's like, that's that big energy, not something like laying below. It's big energy. So in the major incarna, it's a journey. And so the Fool is your beginning of the journey. You don't know what's right in front of you. You don't know what's going to be next, right? You're brand new to it. And then at the end of the journey is the world. And the world is like, yes, I've came to the completion of it. Here I am. And I just pictured the Fool changing into a Jazz Fest shirt, holding Popeye's fried chicken and a king cake. And I was like, yes, like now he's a New Orleanian.
So you're just talking about like where the cards start and where the cards end, not like if you're just pulling them.
Sure. Yes,
okay. So the beginning of the cards is the Fool.
So if you looked at them as what,
right,
1 through 78.
Okay.
Yeah. The major incarna kind of go into that storyline from you start with the first one, the Fool, and then go to the world. In each of the different sets, there's also you start at the beginning of a journey and you end at one.
Okay.
Meaning the ace is going to be your beginning journey.
Right. So how does this relate to pulling them whenever you're just doing like the flipping stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, are you like, you're building the story as you're going along based on which card gets pulled? So what if you pull the last card first?
Absolutely. So I build the story once I see the card. I know what these stories and the cards mean to me. And so when actually I work with people, I don't even ask them a question. I just kind of pull a card and then I give them a story. And I know that, if you are pulling the world card, that means that like this journey that you were just on, you're at completion.
Okay.
You don't have to continue and drag it out. Like you're at the point where it's just like, cool, we're good. We got it. Now it's on. Let's move on to something else. So if I pull a card with somebody, I just kind of give them this narration. Usually what happens is we start a conversation and then we figure out how that aligns with their life. Like what is that connecting intuitively in with you? What does that feel like? The cards all have energies. And so it's just kind of like, why did that card show up for you today?
Yes. And there are different, I guess, ways to set up these whenever you're drawing the cards, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do those have to do with it? Are those like different, I guess, different things going on in your life?
Mm-hmm. So what I recommend for an easy practice with like tarot reading, especially at the beginning, you would just do a card a day and then kind of figure out like,
Oh, okay.
what is that message telling me today? You know, if it's the 6 of Cups, which is childlike, playful, fun energy, have fun today. Go easy on yourself.
I like that.
Don't make it like messy or anything. Just have fun.
What would be a bad one to pull?
There's no bad card.
No, there's nothing bad.
Mm-mm. There's
There's-
intense cards to pull.
mhm.
Such
but-
as?
Well, I have my own personal intense card, but mine is the Tower. But it's really like the Tower card is sort of the collapsing of everything, but the bright side of it is there's a new build on the other end.
Right.
Right. So I don't know. Ashley's the expert. I'm just the supporting friend here. But I think that
What about the upside down devil? I don't know. Knox was telling me about it when he first walked in here. Yeah, we were talking about it today too. But he was saying that one time he was doing tarot and someone pulled the upside down devil. And I was like, what does that mean? Sounds bad.
Right. Yeah. So, in the fun energy way that I visualize these cards, the devil is a cockroach and 2 termites because they're the devil of our city.
Okay.
Cockroaches everywhere, termites. Like we have to tint these houses all the time.
True.
They're the worst. And so when that comes up, it's just like you have to pay attention to the bad things right now to kind of get through this. Or maybe not even the bad things, but it's more like you have to pay attention to that nuances that come up in your life and just kind of like give you that like it's time to move on.
yeah, it's like giving you information on just what's going. Like to me, the tarot is just a way to make life a little bit more fun and a different way to interact with yourself and your day and like what's going on. But like to pull like a bad card or the devil,
Might
for
get this a
example.
little closer.
Yeah. I think it's just a different way to examine aspects of your life and what's going on, even the harder stuff. So I would never say that it was bad. I would just say that it's like a new way to process the information because it's going to bring up whatever it's bringing up within you.
Yeah, I think that's a very sound way to put it. Is the new way to process information. I think that about a lot of things that whenever I'm learning. I had a guy named Ray Couture read my astrology a while back, and whenever he was reading it, it was fascinating to me. But I was like, this is now giving me a new perspective. And then I was actually reading a book on Aleister Crowley a while back, and he was talking about like gematria and like different ways to think about words and how to put them into numbers. And I think all this correlates together. It all goes together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
there
a
are
different
numbers
way.
on
Yeah.
the cards too, right? Or are there? Yeah, there are numbers.
Yeah.
So I mean, what are the different meanings of the numbers?
Again, it's more like the journey. So they kind of go through. In the 4 suits, it starts with 1 to 10, and the 10 just being the end. And then you move into kind of that next part, the higher up of it. So you go into the page and then the knight and queen and king. And the king is when you kind of like are able to turn around and teach.
So they're basically numbered just like playing cards.
Mm-hmm.
So what was tarot even made for? Where did it start? Was it just a playing card that someone was like,
I
yeah, I'm
mean,
gonna put this on there?
I could answer this without knowing the exact place where it started.
Well, yeah, I mean,
to me, like
yeah.
intuitively, it started because people wanted to tap in and they wanted to kind of feel like what's going on outside that I need to also connect with inside. And what do these do? They kind of give you storyline guidance. They kind of help you figure out, like these are the hard moments of my life, or these are the fun ones. And then it just kind of helps you like figure out like what to do next.
So it's like everything else we do in life. We're assigning meaning to life. Try to understand it.
Mm-hmm. And so the basis of all of this has really been like learning through storytelling, because I am, my Monday through Friday job, Monday through Saturday job is a reading coach.
Mhm.
And so I work with kids, starting with 3-year-olds up to middle school, and just helping them understand that like reading is fun. And reading can bring you into a whole new world. And let's do it by playing.
Yeah.
Because that's not happening in schools these days.
No, it's so sad too.
It's sad.
Yeah. My mother is an English teacher. So is my sister. And then talking, they teach high school English. So then talking about like the reading speed of kids is insane to me. Like some kids can't even read when they get to high school.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's easy fixes to it. But number one, we have to have fun with them and we have to play, because that's the fastest way for the brain to learn something new information
Dopamine.
is through play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that about everything. I mean, you got to have fun when you're doing it, or it's a struggle. And for me, so I hate reading with a passion. Like I hate sitting down and like doing that. But I've made a routine now where every day I read 10 pages. So every day I have to go get my 10 pages in, and I've got stacks of books now that I've read.
Yeah.
Just been cranking them out. Cause I mean, I get my 10 pages in, and some days I'll do more than 10 pages.
Yeah.
What are you reading right now?
The last book I read was Aleister Crowley, 777. And fascinating book. I think he gets a lot of flack, but I think the reason he gets flack is because he was actually putting some really good information out there. He might have been doing some weird shit too. I don't know. But the book that I read was fascinating.
And that was all done by just you deciding that you were going to read 10 pages a day.
Yeah, I mean, it started with other books. Like Rudolf Steiner was a big one I read a long time ago. But yeah, it started with 10 pages a day, and then I've just been building on it.
We just recently had a conversation about this, and you had like big takeaways from our conversation. Just like, I was telling her 20 minutes a day. So not the 10 pages, but same, 20 minutes a day. And then you build up and you build up
20 minutes a day, and it's been really nice because I have a ADD thing going on. So like sitting down and reading is complicated for me.
Right.
But the 20 minutes a day, I'm with you. I'm on that. So I'm like moving on through my books. I think it's really great. Yeah.
And I also said, you don't have to finish it.
But
you can pick up a book and you don't have to finish it. Like if it, have fun with it.
And this is why Ashley
but if you have ADD, then you want to finish it.
Or
it's
not.
Like
not.
It's
or
like
you
a problem.
absolutely don't want to
Well, I guess it's not autism. It's ADD then. Yeah. Autism, you have to finish the problem.
Absolutely.
If you don't finish the problem, you freak out.
Right.
And a book's just a problem. You're trying to figure the problem out. What was the artist trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that right. It's all just kind of like, where's your knowledge base? Where can you figure it out?
So when you're going about teaching these kids, what are you doing? Like, I guess you're looking at their level first, right?
Yeah. So I had worked in the school system in New Orleans for 14 years. I
heard it's bad.
It did not align with my values.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I enjoyed the school and every single school I worked at. I'm not a structure person. So being within a system that to me is not working was really hard for me because I knew what I wanted to do to break out of that. And I couldn't do that within the system. And that's basically why I just decided I'm going to do what I do in schools, but I'm going to do it on my own.
Well, so I read your website and your protocol. I mean, it seems logical. Like what you're on your protocol, but I mean, like, what are they doing different in schools?
In schools, the teachers are overwhelmed with the amount of information that they have to be involved in, that they have to worry about, that they have, they're teaching 7 different curriculums today. And then this kid forgot their sweater, and then that one forgot their lunch. And so you're calling the parent for that. That one has a bloody nose. You're sending that one down to the nurse, all while trying to teach them to read.
Right.
Right. So what happens is, especially in, I taught second grade for 5 years. What happens is like you're trying to octopus arms, all these different problems and teach in a small group. It's impossible. Yeah. And the kids don't have that connection to you. If you're not connected to them, they see that and they go, all right, cool. Some of them, not all of them.
Well, attention spans are probably chaos right now too.
Oh, chaos.
Yeah.
We're in an ADHD world.
Yeah.
So, if you're not tapping into that, like you were talking about dopamine, like if you're not tapping into their dopamine, they have a very hard time connecting.
Mhm.
One of the big things that I like to do is to help them understand that you don't have to only tap into the dopamine to enjoy it.
Ooh, how do you do that?
Exactly. So,
This is literally Ashley's genius.
Yeah.
Like, she is so,
Teach me.
watching her in her element is so amazing. And I had I'm a friend of one of her students' parents, and she told me her child is a different person literally after working with Ashley.
Well, I mean, if you found a hack
She's found the hack.
that can make tasks that you don't want to do
Yeah.
fun without the dopamine hits, I'm interested, because you can use that for all kind of stuff, not just reading.
Well, you're talking, this is the person
Yeah.
here. This is her thing.
What you got?
have you found anything in your life? I want to ask you first. Like, what do you tap into and you're just like feeling that calm instead of the dopamine hit?
So for me, when it comes to doing things that I don't want to do, I have to develop a routine. So I have an entire routine that I do in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a routine I do when I leave the bar and do my stuff here. So it's all routine based stuff, and I think that's what a lot of people are missing in their life. They're missing the discipline to build the routine. And I know that if I do something for about 20 days, then I'm in now. This is what I'm doing. But you can also fall out of a routine very fast too. But that's how I do things. And it's almost like when I don't do that thing I was going to do in the routine, that's when I start feeling bad. So I have to do that routine thing to keep going.
Okay. So would you say that's calming down to the energy of the earth as opposed to the energy of technology that's floating around us? Like, that's why we go into like grounding practices, putting
Right.
our feet in the dirt, connecting to the calm.
Well, I do meditate every day. So I think that's my grounding.
And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people have figured out that that's what we need to do,
Mhm.
right? We need to get tapped in to that calm.
And there are certain breathing techniques, like certain breathing techniques that I do. They invoke certain things in the body, calming effects. They can evoke rage,
Mhm.
depending on the breathing techniques that you're doing. But yeah, I read a book called The Science of Yoga,
Mm-hmm.
and that book right there was fascinating to me. And I started putting all those techniques into my life. Do you use breathing techniques whenever you're teaching these kids?
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh. And the whole thing is like, if we can help the kids understand that calmness is like actually a better place to be, as opposed to like, just constant stimulation in front of their eyes,
Mhm.
and be in that calm, then you can teach them anything.
But how do you get them to that calm? Because I have a niece and a nephew,
Nature
and
is-
they're nightmares. Like all they want to do is sit on their tablets and do whatever they're doing there with headphones on. And their parents, I'm like, you guys need to stop this. This is bad. This is not a good,
They're on
not
the
good
road.
behavior. Yes. And they don't
This is
care.
what you're telling their parents, you're saying?
Yeah, my sister. Yeah. It's
Right.
like, get
You're
it
like, you
together,
need to-
dude. Like
yeah.
I don't have kids. So I mean, I shouldn't be giving them advice, but it's like, I can see where this is going and it's not good.
Mhm.
Okay.
So how would you take the screens away from them without them kicking, screaming, and fighting you?
So one of the biggest things, and I think there's a separation in this, I see a lot of adults not looking at children as full adult humans. You kind of look down as like, oh, I'm going to tell you what to do, instead of listening to who they are. And I think sometimes they get frustrated and their frustrations come out and they don't know how to regulate their bodies. They're not taught that. So, there is a huge push. There's a push, let me not say huge push, of teaching kids how to regulate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happening, but there's also still that separation. In a school, I hear from kids all the time, they're like, it feels like prison. It's a place I have to go to.
It felt like that for me, for sure.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
it's they're training you to work a 9-to-5 job. So
Right.
of course it's prison, because 9-to-5
Right.
jobs are also prison.
Right.
Yeah, unless you're doing something you really love. But
It's
I mean,
time to update the education system.
yeah. So what I was saying, Rudolf Steiner earlier. Are you familiar with
Mhm.
Waldorf schools?
Mhm. Yes, my friend Ann here
Yeah.
is teaching at one.
Yeah, it's his whole philosophy on life is fascinating to me. I
Yeah.
read several of his books. Great theosophy, awesome.
Yeah.
But the way that he breaks down schools, and I'm not. Are you with the children? I know you don't have a microphone over there, but I'm gonna ask you a question anyway. Are you with the kids all the way through their development? Because I think it's one of the things he was saying in his curriculum is that one teacher with kids through their development, right?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I think that's a better way to do it too, because what you were saying is that teachers are overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed because they have to learn all these kids, who these kids are, and they have what 30 kids in their class or more than that. I don't know how they do it, but if you actually knew how these kids behave, knew how these kids act, knew how they responded to the information you're giving them, then you could actually develop that curriculum for them over their life.
Yeah. So that's what I do with my reading practice. I just try to see like where they are in the reading development, and I will take that and then just like the way I describe it to them is teach them what their brain is ready to learn next. What's your brain ready to learn next? Let's talk about it.
Like if I would describe Ashley, I don't have children, and I'm a clinical therapist, so my background's a little different than education. But if I had to describe Ashley, is an intuitive teacher. Like she'll plug into a child, and like she's saying, she sees them as whole, complete people, right? And then, which you would hope that anyone would, but I get a lot of people aren't there. But then she's like intuiting what they need and like how they can respond to it. I mean, it's like her true genius. I don't know how she does it, but it's like, oh, I see it. You need this and this. And then she does this whole thing where she makes it fun. Because being her friend, she does the same thing with me. She's like, I know what you need. We need this, this, this. And all of a sudden, like we're having fun. And I think that's even bringing it back to like Ashley's whole genius and vibe is about seeing you and like intuiting like what's going on and then making you feel seen. And then this is the best part. And then the rest is just fun. It's like never really that serious. So
can you give me an example of what she would do with you? Like what would you be not having fun with and how would she rectify this?
So I'll give you an example. Oh gosh, there's so many. This is like even a broader example. We haven't gone there, but
you're like, I'm sad. And she's like, here's tequila.
Maybe.
Not this year.
Not this year.
No, I'm sober this year.
Nice. But, congratulations on that. Yeah. You Cali sober or sober?
Oh, Cali sober.
Yeah.
Cali
I think we're all Cali sober at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ashley will just like, okay, I'm having a shitty, hard day. She'll just come over and just be like, it's not even that serious. Like, look at the trees. I don't know. She'll just say something, but in this way that's not condescending. And we laugh about it. And then you're just like, oh, that's right. Like she just can remind you that it's okay. And I'm sure we'll get into Ashley's journey last year and why she's sober and things like that.
Yeah. But it's always connected to nature. That's the grounding force for me. I got my master's as a reading specialist and my thesis work was connecting kids to nature. So I was working at a school, working with second graders, and we would go outside and do tally marks because they were learning tally marks and how many flowers are on these bushes. And, there were azaleas. So I knew what was going to happen next. Right. And the kids don't know because they're just like, there's flowers everywhere. And, oh, it's spring, right? Like a big season. Yeah. So they don't know, like, first what happens on an azalea bush is you get a couple flowers. And then all of a sudden this one day you'll go outside and it's just covered. Like it snowed.
See how she just made that sound so magical.
And so then they're out there and they're like, I don't know this many tally marks. And I'm like, perfect. Let's learn how to do it.
What's interesting to me about education is that it's like we're losing knowledge and then rediscovering it. Because the book, The Science of Yoga, he was saying very similar things into that. And it's almost like the exact same thing you were describing, but just in different language. But it's crazy to me. I think the same thing with Rudolf Steiner. It's like some of the things he was teaching back in the early 1900s, like 1905 or something. We're rediscovering this shit today. Where did it all go? Like, how did we lose this stuff?
Where did it go?
That's the question. Why don't we know the information we've already learned from our ancestors?
I mean, there's a lot of information.
There's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of information out there too. So I understand that like one person can't know it all.
For sure.
So it can get lost through history. And do you mess with AI at all?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, yeah, I love AI too.
Yeah,
Some people are on the fence with it. I love it.
absolutely.
But there, you just have there's a deep knowledge base there that anything you want to know, you can be like, hey, what is this book about? And it'll tell you what that book's about.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's been great actually. I do have to say with teaching, because I can kind of go in and formulate a whole lesson plan and do it within 10 minutes as
Mhm.
opposed to when I used to do it and it would take days.
Yeah, time saver.
Time saver. And for me, it's like I'm gonna get an outline of it. I don't need you to tell me everything to say, but give me the outline. Okay, perfect. I have this next kid that needs to learn this skill. Boom, I can do it. That's
Yeah.
what I love AI for.
I'm the same
My
way.
little
Yeah.
assistant.
It's I have one built for strictly for the podcast. And anytime I upload a transcript of the podcast
Yeah.
in, it breaks it all down and gives me all the SEO for YouTube. And I just copy and paste and put it on YouTube. Proofread it first. But I copy and paste. It gives me the thumbnails already broken down, all the
That
stuff.
really makes all that so much more convenient.
It's just it saves so much time where
I
that would
get
have taken me 4 or 5 hours to do all that work.
I get that.
And now it's like, boom, it's done. Now I can go do something else in my life.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the issue that people are having with AI is, and I read a paper on this. The paper was saying that if you are intuitive, you're going to get smarter because you're going to go to AI and say, "Hey, give me this information," and you're going to develop more information. But if you're not an intuitive person, if you're just using it to write your emails at work or something, your brain's actually going to shrink because those are the things that are actually keeping your brain going. And now you're letting AI do your job for you. Which I mean, not the stuff you're talking about, but I'm talking like the everyday emails and bullshit. Like that's what's crazy about it.
I think that's what happens in new generations, though.
So that's scary though, right? Because I mean,
Well-
project that out 20 years.
Yeah, it's scary for us now. It wasn't scary for us when we were kids, right? It was scary for our parents when we were kids. They're like, what world are they going to be living in? You can email each other.
You don't think it's different? We've seen
I
so
think
many we've seen so many revolutionary technologies in our time. I don't know, we might be around the same age. I don't know, but they're like the compact disc came out and then it's gone. It's like ancient now. We had Walkmans that came out and now they're gone. So I mean, it's almost like technology is evolving at such a rapid pace. Are humans going to evolve to keep up with it?
They will. The younger generations will, because that's the world that they're going to be living in.
Right.
Okay. We aren't, and it's actually okay that we aren't. It's okay that we were in the 90s and we learned X amount of information, and then you let the younger generation do their thing.
I've met the younger generation. I don't know if I trust them.
Oh, I do. I love them. I think they're great.
We're a
All
great
of 'em.
partnership then because you have the optimism, I have the pessimism.
Yeah.
I love the younger gen. But okay, what age are we talking about?
Well, I mean, my niece and my nephew. We're talking.
How old are
12, 13, and 9.
They're the best right now. They're so funny. They're
Get them to tell you a story. Like they ask,
I don't think I could. I think they would just sit there on their iPads and be like, "No, shut up." They're raising nightmares.
Send them to
So
Miss
you're-
Ashley reading coach.
Yes.
Well, we're not from here. We're from Arkansas originally,
All
so
right.
they're from Arkansas. But yeah,
Yeah. No, also besides teaching reading, I also teach executive functioning skills. So
Okay.
this kind of ties into the ADHD.
That's why you guys are
worlds,
friends,
and
huh?
That's why we're friends. And I started by getting certified as an ADHD coach and thought, oh man, these tools actually help me in my life. This is great. And then I started recognizing the kids that were ADHD in school and how difficult it was for them. So then I found a resource of executive functioning skills. I'm like, cool, this is great. I'm teaching them, but I'm teaching myself too. Things I never learned when I was growing up. And then it just kind of has evolved into this, let's just have conversations and let's have real conversations about what's going on, like what's hard. How can you help yourself? Because you're not born with these skills, and I explained it to them. I'm like, executive functioning skills is if you take your hand, put it on your head right here, it's this part of the brain. That part of the brain's not fully developed until you're 30. So you're still working on them. However, some people need to work on them harder. And then you can develop your brain. Who doesn't want to develop the brain? Everybody does. Once you tell a kid that, they're like, okay, perfect. Let's develop the brain.
I mean,
And then I'm
you're
like-
around some very smart kids. Yeah.
It's her. It's the magic.
Yeah. I think if I told my niece and nephew that, they'd be like, my brain's fully developed. Shut up.
There's a story here with the niece and nephew.
Dude,
This
they're
is-
just, it's, okay.
Stories.
Once again, I don't have kids,
Neither do we.
but that's not
Neither- yeah,
how
we-
I
neither
would
do we.
raise my kids if I had them. And I say this, not having kids. So I don't know if I'm accurate on
Who
that or
knows?
not, but it just seems like there's so much more they could be doing to get these kids ready for life. And
So
I feel like
just-
right now they're going to get smacked in the face one day with life, and they're going to know how to deal with it.
So maybe the problem is the screen, is what I'm hearing you say.
Well, I mean, that's
They're-
just what
they're
they do
too
when
on
I'm
their
around.
screens.
Yeah. If you actually take them outside, like I take my nephew outside and we do all kinds of like fun shit when I'm up in
Mhm.
Arkansas, he loves that. But then right when he goes back inside, it's,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't think it's just them. I'm not picking on my niece and my nephew. I think it's all kids these days. Like from the moment they start crying, their parents are putting a screen in their face. And I think that's a bad way to go because you're basically giving them a drug from day one.
Yeah.
It's cheap dopamine.
It is. There's this town in Maine where all the kids in the family, like the whole like little town decided we were going to do screen free.
Love that.
And they
That's
now
amazing.
have the old dial-up phones.
Oh, wow.
And the kids love it. They're like, I have a appointment with somebody at 4:00. I have another one with my friend at 5:00. And it like allows them to still communicate and like do all the things, but without all the extra.
yeah.
And then it's fun.
Well, I saw a phone a while back, and this phone was basically the stripped down version.
Mhm.
So you could call and you could text message, but it wasn't pretty.
Mhm.
Like the iPhone's very vibrant and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's basically stripping down the phone. And I was like, dude, I need one of those. Like that's what I need in my life. And that's why if you look at my phone right now, it looks like shit because I've noticed that if my screen's cracked and stuff, I don't stay on the phone as much
Ah,
because it's not as fun to look at.
right.
So I'm always finding little hacks in life to keep me like on the path, I guess.
And if you put your phone on grayscale, have you done that?
I haven't done that yet because of the podcast and stuff. But I mean, I have heard that people, it's keeping them off their phones.
It's
more.
less appealing.
Yeah.
Wait, what is a grayscale?
Just black and white, no color, and
Oh.
you are just less inclined to look at your phone.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like more boring for our brain. We get
Yeah.
less dopamine. Yeah.
I'll tell you a little hack that I found with ADD is if you at night, whenever you're going to sleep, take a dish and put it in the sink. And then right when you wake up in the morning, go and wash the dish. That's your first initial hit of dopamine right there.
Completing the task.
Completing the task.
Yeah.
Gets the day moving forward.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
The
Every
dish
night.
technique?
Every night. I put the dish in and I get up and I wash it and then I go straight to the gym.
Really?
It's my first 2 tasks complete.
And I like how you talk about routines because that's also a really big thing that I'm teaching kids with executive functioning. And it's like, I'm curious of like, where did you learn that? Is that just naturally how you were and you
Yeah.
recognize that? Or like, did you learn that
Well, so
from,
I'm a systems thinker. Like I have an
Okay.
IT degree, and when I look at any system, I see it from kind of a top down perspective. Even this bar is a system to me, and I want to optimize the system. So when I look at my own life is also a system, and I try to optimize that
I like that.
and optimize my functioning in that system as well. So I mean, everything I do, I'm just trying to like, I guess, optimize the tasks.
Mhm.
I
And
love
for
that.
me, it makes sense to do those things.
Sure.
And you think that's just naturally who you are?
I mean, mushrooms may have something to do with it too. I don't know. But yeah, I think I've a very healthier life than I used to when I was bartending in the French Quarter and, living that life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one day it just kind of like clicked and I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think what Ashley does and other educators are doing is they're helping, like how you say you had that click, right? I think that's something that you're doing. I even think the tarot, I think it's all related, right?
Yeah.
I think it can like click you in that way of like, oh yeah, this makes sense.
When it's fascinating that you said the brain doesn't fully develop until you're about 30 because it was
Prefrontal
around,
cortex.
Prefrontal.
yeah, it was around 30s whenever it actually clicked.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I went to a conference and, a couple big takeaways, but one of them was like, all of these kids are just driving and their prefrontal cortex is not developed
Mm.
like that. Ah.
So whenever you're looking at a kid and you're like, this is the total package, the human,
Mhm.
are you still thinking about it as like the brain's not fully developed yet?
No, the
Because does that
way
matter?
I don't look at it that way. I will say that. The way I like to look at it is that we get to just look at the future and build upon that, right? Like we're going to make new pathways in your brain.
Okay.
I'm going to connect it to something else in your life, to something else, and then you're going to be able to hold on to that new information, right? Because we know how the brain works.
Mhm.
There's currently in the past like 2 years now this like science of reading push, and so it's like, okay, we know how the brain grows and we know how it develops. Let's actually just go back to phonics, because that's how you learn how to read. You have to know the sounds of the letters and all of that. It wasn't being taught for a
This is
while.
the science of reading that
The
you're talking
science
about?
of reading.
Okay.
um my where I come into this, beautiful, love it. There's a science of reading. I'm going to follow that scope. I'm going to follow that sequence, but I'm going to add in the art of reading. I'm going to add in the storytelling aspect, because that has to be there too. You're going to tap into the science part of it, but I'm going to come in with the art.
I mean, it is the foundation of learning. Like if you
It
don't know how to
is.
read, then you're not going to know how to absorb new information.
Mm-mm.
Especially like older information. Like, you may be able to like watch YouTube videos and stuff, but I find that I absorb information deeper whenever I'm reading
Mm-hmm.
because I'm 100% focused on it rather than watching a YouTube video. Like I'm just not getting it all because I'm probably doing other tasks and shit too,
Mhm.
or listening to audiobooks. I don't know how people learn listening to audiobooks.
Right. So, because when you're reading, you're fully absorbed
Yeah.
in the experience.
When I'm listening to audiobooks, I'm running around doing other shit and
Yeah.
just not getting anything out of it.
Well, and it needs to connect also to information, right? So if we even think about like how our brain develops, something is new, we have to connect it, and then we have to like practice it. We have to like
Can you give me an
maybe
example?
maybe read more information. I read one book on that, but let me read another book on that.
Mm.
And then my knowledge base of it gets stronger. I can practice it in my own life, and then I can teach it. Because to me, I believe that once you're able to teach something, that is like ultimate mastery.
Mhm.
That's the world's tarot card. And so when you look at teachers, like, and they're teaching these kids, it's like, it's fascinating. Like, they're showing them the mastery and how to get there.
Yeah, I agree with that. What I found with knowledge is that there's always other levels.
Yes.
Like, and I'm kind of curious as to like how deep the rabbit hole goes. But even with words, like if you convert words into numbers, like you can do so much stuff with them. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, like it's like there's other levels of it, but you're never going to get to those levels if you don't understand the base.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So everyone out there should learn how to read.
Everyone. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I play every day. I'm having a blast. This has been 3 years. It's also just offered me the flexibility to be able to do this project, New
Mhm.
Orleans Tarot. I've also just have had the wildest year of my life.
Oh yeah, you want to talk? You want to talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah. So last November, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Um, this was days after trying on wedding dresses.
Mm.
So, going from like such a big high to like a absolute like low.
And did you discover something while you're trying on wedding dresses, or did you start feeling bad, or what made you?
No, it's a couple days later, and I was just walking by the mirror. I noticed a bump,
Mhm.
which is wild to me, a bump. And it was discolored. And so in my mind, I think, oh, what in the world did I do? Like, what bruise did I
bruise,
just
yeah.
create? I bruise easily. But then I knew I was due for a mammogram. I'm like, let me go do the things. And then, I obviously developed, a couple weeks later, diagnosed with a cancer, started chemotherapy.
God, how bad was that? I've heard it's miserable. Yeah.
It's awful. It's awful. Started that December 30th. So really this year, like feeling awful every day.
But you're back good now?
So I'm still in treatment.
Mm.
I'm in the middle. I had 6 rounds of chemo.
Mm.
I had surgery I had a double mastectomy reconstruction in June. Recovered from that this summer. I have another surgery November, the week of Thanksgiving.
Are they finding more or?
No, so the reconstruction
Okay,
is
the reconstruction surgery,
is
yeah.
a 2 surgery.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it's that part. But I'm also in hormone therapy right now. So I'm done with chemo, but every 3 weeks I go and I sit in that chemo chair and I receive an infusion.
Does that make you feel bad too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hormones. So what it's doing is it's depleting my body of estrogen. That's what the cancer fed off of. And so,
Really?
yes.
Interesting.
Yes. What they're doing is they're depleting my body of it so that there's any residual
Starving it
cancer
out?
in there. It's like, exactly,
Yeah.
starving it out.
Dude.
But removing estrogen from a woman's body is
No
pretty
bueno.
intense.
No bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of that. But honestly, right now, the best I've felt already this year.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't even, if you wouldn't have told me that, I wouldn't have known it when you walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem chipper and
My hair's growing back.
Yeah, that's another thing I would have noticed. Yeah.
And it's straighter than it was before.
What do you think that's about? Is that an estrogen thing, you think?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually don't know. I'll have to look that up. I just heard of people like getting chemo curls, and I had such curly hair before that, they had straight hair before and then they got the curls, and I had such curly. And then now it's like, there's a little wave and there's a little curl in it, but it's pretty straight. It's a totally different person.
That estrogen thing's crazy to me.
Right.
Yeah, I need to dive into that one this afternoon. That's going to be my task this afternoon. Because I always thought like it fed off the sugar, but I guess it makes sense why it would go to the breast. And I guess I don't know why would it go to the breasts? Like, what is that? Do they know? Because a lot of women get breast cancer, right?
My doctor did say 1 in 8 are the
That's
numbers
crazy
these days.
What?
Uh-huh.
Why has no one figured this out yet?
When you when you are diagnosed, I chose to figure out, is it genetic? That's a choice, right? So you can figure it out if it's genetic or environmental. I did genetic testing. It was negative. So environmental. And you remember, at some point I remember asking my doctor. So we just say like environmental question mark.
And no one dives into that. Like we just like take it. Because there's something in the environment that's causing this issue. Like, why have we not started diving into it? It could be. Yeah, I've heard.
If I had to just at least look around me and make a guess and make
they're
something
everywhere.
like something, put it when connected to something. I'm going to say microplastics is everywhere.
I did hear that microplastics, they caused, was it testosterone levels to drop, and it actually makes you produce more estrogen?
Yeah.
So I wonder if that flood of estrogen is what's causing the cancer to grow, because the body's not in equilibrium anymore. Interesting.
I think that's one to study.
That is it's very interesting. I don't know why someone who hasn't already figured this out, like there are people that do this for a living, right? I just run a podcast in a bar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know it's that again, another system, right?
Yeah.
There all these little pieces. If we can put it together and really put our minds together and figure this out, we need to, because it's awful. At 41, getting cancer, it's like, what in the world? I had the best support team around me. And I will say right there, that is the key
to
all of it. My friend Liz, who's here, is my cancer doula. And she would set up my group of friends to come and sit with me while I was in that chemo chair. So every hour, there would be a new person.
That's
and
crazy.
I didn't know who that person was going to be. So it was a surprise for me.
Yeah.
It's like in those times, I need excitement because I'm not feeling it internally. I need you guys to help me like right now and bring it on. And you found that. And
Your friends hacked you the same way you hacked them.
Exactly. We're like,
That's
what
awesome.
Ashley needs
I love
is
that.
fun.
Yeah.
So when I would do like my daily calls, we would be like, let's talk about how we can make this day fun. So we created all kinds of like silly, fun ideas. And I think the rotating chemo chair was the most fun. And the nurses were like,
it's a great idea.
Ashley is the most popular person ever. And people were like clamoring to get on this list. We had to deny people every time. I'm like, we already had like 8 spots filled up. There was one time where people could only get like 25, 30-minute slots because the list was growing. And it's like, come sit next to the queen.
Yeah.
And then the best part is like, she was like this wise oracle, like sitting in a chair. So we all felt like we were like,
no
coming to
hair.
her. And she was just giving us this wisdom.
You should start your podcast right then.
I know.
That was your
Oh,
podcast.
that was the moment.
Yeah.
It was like she became this like super wise oracle. And then I'm like, Ashley, tell me what you've learned. Like this is so great. And I think it all goes back to the tarot and everything else. But her whole takeaway, well, you should say what her takeaway from having cancer is.
If you think it, do it.
That was Knox's takeaway too. The guy was on. You saw him with a walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. He recently had a bad car wreck, and he's kind of the same way. He was pitching that. He's like, dude, we waste so much time, talking ourselves out of doing things, and you don't really realize that until you're like on the brink of death, and you're like, why didn't I do this? Like, what's holding me back? Well, it's holding me back. This right here.
Right. And like, how many times have you been like? So Ashley, I remember the night. Or one of the nights when the tarot deck was just in, you sit around with your friends and you're like, wouldn't it be so fun if, right? And so we're all like riffing off each other. We're like, yeah, and like Morris Bart is the judge and the judgment.
Yeah.
And a cockroach is the devil. And we're just like having fun. But what's so great is like this took years. This is like on year 4.
You actually made Morris Bart one of the cards?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Justice.
And got permission from everyone.
From Morris Bart.
And how cool is it when you're like sitting around and having these wild, fun ideas with your friends to then actually do it?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's a lot of work. And then a lot of no's. I know Ashley asked a lot of people, would you mind being this card? They told her no. Like, and we had to get back in the think tank and say,
what's wrong with these people?
Well, who can be the emperor? Right?
Yes.
That was a tough one.
The emperor was the toughest.
Yeah. No one
I
wanted
got
to do it.
3 or 4 no's.
I know. You would think people would be stoked to be on but
nope.
Well, yeah, it's like as much as like royalty is a thing in this city, with like the Mardi Gras shit.
Yeah.
Like you think that everyone would be like, yeah, put me down.
Yeah.
They were like, nope.
I'm not going to say who it is, but
and then Ashley, like
in the
going
end,
through all of this and having this deck come out, it's just like so much. It's fun timing. And then another download that you had.
Wait, can I just say who the emperor ended up being?
Yes, of course.
The Mississippi River.
Oh, perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Boom. Don't have to
amazing.
ask anybody's permission.
Yeah.
Well, we asked the river's permission, but of course he said yes.
He said yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Other download.
Oh, what is that? You said life's just about having, like, we just have to have fun.
Yeah. It's all play.
Every day's Mardi Gras.
Oh, yes. So we love Mardi Gras Day. Mardi Gras Day is just the absolute feeling of pure joy and bliss. And I've had the thought for many years, like, why can't every day just be like this? Amazing, glitter, fun, blow bubbles, talking to people. And then it's just like, it's rolled over into like, well, every day we just have to play.
I agree with that. I think people are too plugged in these days.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is they're too plugged into this online world, which is not real. So, I mean, that's why with this bar right here, you'll see only one TV, and that's for showing games. And we do game nights here. So we play like Smash Brothers and stuff.
Nice.
So it's for those nights, but we keep the TV off most of the time because I want people to be interacting with each other.
Yeah.
And it's made this bar very successful.
I want to come to a game night.
It's Wednesday nights.
Would it cut trivia or like?
Oh,
what?
no, it's Smash Brothers. So the video games. So on that night, there's like 15 TVs in here. Like everyone brings their own TVs. It's crazy. They apparently play on CRT TVs. I don't come those nights, but they bring their own Nintendo Switches and their own GameCubes.
Oh, so
it's like a LAN party. It's crazy.
Wow.
They bring their own TVs.
Oh, it's nuts. They're walking in with these massive CRT TVs and they're set up all over the bar. And this is every Wednesday night. It's insane. I didn't know there was like such a big league for that down here.
That's not my world.
That reminds me of when the Saints we won the Super Bowl. We rented a place down in the quarter. So all of our friends could just like, we got to be in the quarter. We got to be in the heart of the city, like when this is happening. And we brought our own TV to this hotel. And it was in the back of my Toyota Corolla.
Was there there wasn't a TV there?
I mean, it wasn't the TV we wanted to watch this game on.
We had to watch our Saints win the Super Bowl. It was biggest. It was a really big deal.
We were just like going through the hallways with this big TV.
Well, I mean, honestly, nothing surprises me in this city. So if I saw you with a TV, that would be probably the least surprising thing I've seen all day.
That's the great part about New Orleans is like nothing's really shocking.
Exactly.
Like you can do anything and
you could be yourself.
You were carrying a TV. It's like no big deal.
Yeah. Everybody's so in like their own individual. They tap into, and I know we've been talking a lot about tapping into, but it's just like you get to be your authentic self.
Yeah, the first time I realized this, I just moved here, maybe here for about a month, and I walked into Rouse's to buy groceries, and I saw this old lady in there with dressed as a fairy.
Exactly.
And I was like, I think I'm home. Like this is home. Yeah. I don't know what this is, but I think I'm home.
And like maybe in other places that might be sort of odd or strange, or you do a double take, but it's so just like part of, like you said, you got that home feeling. That's just so part of the deal here.
Yeah. And you get so ingrained in this culture down here too, that now when I go home to where I grew up, people look at me like I'm fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause it's so true. Like once you like get used to expressing yourself fully and you go back to like one of those small towns of like 2,000 people,
tell me about it.
Like everyone's just living in this like closed bubble.
It's hard. Yeah.
I went to college in Reston, Louisiana. So I had that experience. I was like, wow.
Yeah. How was that going from, I mean, are you
New
from
Orleans?
New Orleans?
Right. Yeah. Born and raised New Orleans.
Then going to a small place. Cause I was the opposite,
small place.
which was also a shock.
I do have to say, so my parents were divorced when I was young. My dad lived in Missouri. So I spent my summers in the Ozarks.
Okay.
I had the experience of like small town.
Yeah.
But like, how cool is that? Like the combination of like New Orleans, and then in the summers, I was in nature. Like I loved it. But I knew that small town, but it's interesting to live there for a long time.
It's a very different dynamic.
And it was a dry county.
I grew up in a dry county too.
Dry parish.
Where did you grow
up? So I grew up in Harrisburg, Arkansas. Yeah, a little bitty town, 2,000 people. Yeah, dry county. Well, actually, Jonesboro, the bigger city, that's the dry county. Harrisburg, in that Poinsett County, that's not a dry county. So everyone would drive from Jonesboro to Poinsett County to buy liquor. It's just a weird thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're not used to that when you're living here and you can literally walk around with booze in your hand.
What brought you here? How did she call you in?
It was film industry. Yeah. So when the film boomed down here, at that point in time, I was acting and modeling. Still am. We just recently sold one of our films. But that brought us down here, and we were only acting then. I've come down here with another actor, and he now lives in New York, and now we're making our own films. So I've transitioned to filmmaker rather than just actor, because make your own job. Don't always apply for them. It makes sense to me. So yeah, that's what got me down here.
And you feel home here?
I don't know that I feel home anywhere, but this is a good place for growth at this point in my life. I don't know where I'm going to end up. Yeah, but this is a cool city for growing. Like I don't feel like I wouldn't be this person right here if I still lived in Arkansas. Yeah.
I have a question.
I have answers.
Coolest place in Arkansas? Like where? Like
I already got it.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
Pinnacle Mountain in Little Rock, Arkansas.
In Little Rock.
Yeah. So it's in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's like all flat, but then for some reason, this one mountain, the Pinnacle Mountains, what they call it, it pops up, and it's like a 20 to 30-minute hike. And when you get up to the top of it, you can see miles, and you can see over the Arkansas River. You can see over Little Rock. It's amazing.
We gotta go.
We got to go.
Well, it's a very unknown thing too.
Okay. Well, is it second question? If you were to put up a commune somewhere in the United States, where would it be?
Like a nun commune?
No, like
what is that? It's a commune.
We use commune probably in the way that it's not meant.
Probably.
Like
It's like a community thing,
A
right?
community. If you were
community of friends on
your
land.
best friends
I
on
mean,
land.
Arkansas is a great place.
I know that's what we keep
Yeah.
bringing up.
That's what we're saying too.
But
Yeah.
like, is it where in Arkansas?
I would go northwest Arkansas because South Arkansas is all farmland and it's
Okay.
all flat land.
Right.
If you go to the east side of Arkansas, where I'm from, the only hill areas or mountain areas there is the Ridge, Crowley's Ridge. And it's like, it's a cool area, but I would think that if you're going to do something like that, you'd probably want to be more into the mountain area. So the northwest Arkansas area is probably the best bet.
Awesome.
Is it something you're looking into?
No, well, and commune meaning like, I'm thinking back on that, like, because that's can go into so many different directions.
Like culty and
But
I mean,
a
I'm cool
group
if you guys
of
want to start a
friends
cult.
who
Whatever.
have a
Yeah.
second
She's my
home
on land.
on land. A
Yeah.
group of friends who have a
Nature.
second home on land. Hey, we're all going up at this time and visiting, like spending time together.
Honestly,
nature.
anywhere in North Arkansas.
North Arkansas.
Yeah, if you want more of like a flatland kind of take, I would go East Arkansas. More of like in the hills and mountains, West Arkansas.
Okay.
But Arkansas is a beautiful place. It's one of the, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful states. And it's not just because I grew up there, because I've been to a lot of states, and there's just there's a reason it's called the natural state.
Yeah.
And if you actually want hot springs, we got those there too.
Absolutely.
I think I read something a while back. I'm not sure if this is factual or not, but it's the only state in the U.S. that if they closed all their borders, they could survive on their own.
Well, that's where the commune needs
That's
to be.
Yeah.
We're figuring out
Yeah.
things today.
But one of the things about Northwest Arkansas is there's a nuclear plant there. So I'm not sure if you're trying to get your commune away from the nuclear plant, but that's in Russellville, Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's no
Things to
nuclear
think
plants
about.
on the east side. Yeah, fun thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested. What if you asked AI that question? What AI would say? Have you done this yet?
Well, my AI is a little liar. I don't know if yours is,
Well, it's LLMs. They lie sometimes.
but they'll say, like, we'll ask the same question and
Mhm.
we'll get completely different answers.
What are you
Because
using?
it's like chat.
GPT?
Yeah. So I'm not trusting it as much,
Yeah. You can steer them. It depends on how you're asking the question too. It's like the longer your questions are, the more likely you are to get some like weird answer.
Yeah.
Like if you keep them more concise, but like what kind of questions are you asking? Are you asking them like philosophical questions where the AI has to make some shit up? Or are you asking them like
Well,
factual
yeah,
ones?
I've done that because I think that's fun and interesting.
It's fun
and
to do, yeah.
silly,
It's fun
But
play.
no, I've asked like factual things like that. Maybe where's the best place to? I can't even remember. But we were doing that one night, and it was like different answers for what you would think would be like a similar answer if you compiled all the information, because it's more of like an objective answer than a subjective answer.
Have you played with making your own AIs? So you can do it with ChatGPT as well. You have to pay for the $20 version, but you can actually go in and create an AI specifically designed for looking at geography and figuring these things out.
Oh,
Like egg. There's one on Instagram called Egg,
Okay.
and it's hilarious. And it's full of puns all about being an egg. But the egg is like really in depth with some knowledge. You can ask some great questions to Egg.
Well,
It's been fun.
It's just fascinating to me that we have all of human knowledge at our fingertips right now.
Yes.
And there are so many people that aren't utilizing it in the way they could, and so many people that are scared of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were outside the other night at the table just having a conversation, and one of the people were spouting off facts, and I was like, "Is that true?" And I just pulled up AI and was literally saying, "Is this a real fact?" Talking to it, communicating with it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was saying, "No, it's not a real fact." And I'm like, what do you like? Why are you saying these things and saying like you actually know that it's a true thing, but it's not?
right.
It's all at our fingertips now.
Yeah.
Well, okay. And this goes back to the teaching. Like we're teaching the kids, like man walked on the moon. Like in the 50s, well, that would be 69 that happened. Like in the 70s, it was like, let's learn about it. Well, now kids can like pull it up and watch a video of it. You know,
And
it's
that's
like
getting scary
everything
too,
is
though.
well, but that's how
Sora?
education needs to change.
Yeah. So have you been looking at the Sora stuff, the new AI?
Like a little bit.
Oh my God, dude, the videos are so good. It's scary.
Really?
Because it's real. What is it?
It's hyper realistic videos that's created by AI. Terrifying.
Oh, and they can like use your face.
Oh, everything. So like us being on this podcast right now, it's going to be out there on the internet. Someone could take this video and upload it into Sora and be like, make them say this.
Boom.
So get ready for that world.
Yeah. So like, what's real?
Yeah, that's why.
So we're gonna go to Arkansas and live on the land, and
Dude, I think that's a great way to
Bye.
be. That's why I
do
say,
too.
On that phone, that rotary phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We actually just recently went to the show at Tipitina's, the 90s show. What
that '90s band.
that 90s band, and had the time of our lives. And I feel like everyone was just like, bring me back to the 90s
nostalgia.
before AI.
Yeah, you could just like
But it's
sneak
still
out of your window and go hang out with your friends, and no one was like tracking you. I don't even know how kids do it because their parents are tracking them.
It's about to get worse too.
Why?
The advances that we're making in tracking is terrifying. Like if you have a computer mouse with a laser on it
Mm-hmm.
and it's sitting on your computer desk, they can look at the mouse vibrating, the laser of the mouse, and they can extrapolate what you're saying in your apartment.
Oh my goodness.
If you have Wi-Fi in your apartment, the AIs can go back and rebuild the Wi-Fi signals and look for the spaces where there's no Wi-Fi and track you going through your apartments.
Mhm.
I mean, it's terrifying. Like, there's no way you're going to get around this unless you do move to a secure location, and then they're still going to have satellites flying over your head because I think Bill Gates is putting up like 10,000 satellites or something. It's crazy. Like,
it's overwhelming.
I don't know why. Like, why do you need all this information?
I went to a conference once, and this should be fact checked, but it was something like this. I can't remember the exact, but it was something like, we are now receiving the amount of information we're receiving. It was either in 1 day or 1 hour is the amount of information that, like, since the beginning of time until now, we've received in our entire lifetime.
I believe it.
So, and it makes sense, right? Like, you wake up, you text 7 people, you check an email, right? So before, our brains were just used to like being wherever we were. You'd wake up, you'd be with your tribe, your village. You would just be with what was in front of you. So there's some studies that are saying we're all our nervous system is so overwhelmed all the time because the amount of information that we're taking in. We're all sort of walking around with different levels of PTSD from an overactive nervous system. But the information of like in 1 hour, 1 day is what our brains are supposed to hold an entire lifetime is such a wild concept.
Yeah. So the technology is evolving faster than the human body is.
Sure. Of course.
And that's why they're going to these things like, what's it called whenever they're trying to implement technology into the body? What am I thinking of? I went blank. Yeah, Elon Musk is doing it with the chips and neural chips and stuff. But I mean, that's trying to what they're going to, because there's no way to evolve. I mean, there's no way to evolve the human body to keep up with what's going on in society. So the only way to do it is to add technology to the body, which is terrifying. Like, I want to keep this thing pure.
Absolutely. Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Let's go.
Now, do you
New Orleans, half the time here, half the
Of
time there.
course.
That's sorry. I have to make sure that's known.
I think that if I left New Orleans now, I would miss it. Yeah, I would miss the people.
There's
I would
songs
miss.
about that.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
There's songs.
So how are you guys going to survive in Arkansas then? Yeah.
Half the time.
Oh, just
Okay.
half the time. No,
But the hot months.
We're in
Winters in
Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mardi
Yeah.
Gras.
Mardi
Yeah.
Gras. The best time is from Halloween until Jazz Fest is like
We're there.
That's the
time.
window.
Oh, we're in it.
We're in it.
This is the best time. Where else on the planet would you want to be other than right here?
Yeah. I ride the muses. And it's just the best.
Yeah.
Best.
You're talking about energy. The energy you feel when you're on one of those parades
Oh my
is
gosh.
incredible.
It's wild.
First time I turned the corner on the float, the two girls that I ride with, they actually rode the year before me. So they had the experience. And so they were like, just wait until you turn that corner.
Mhm.
So I'm like sitting on there like, I can't wait for this. This is going to be fun. And we turned that corner. And my thought was, they all love me. And I was like, they're all just like yelling at me. Like, what in the world's going on? I probably said that 100 times that night. I was just having the best time. And every year, it's the same exact energy. Just pure joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People just let go.
Yeah.
I love it.
New Orleans.
Is there anything else you guys want to touch base on today before we wrap this up?
I feel like we did a good like little talk through.
Cool. Where can the
everything.
people find you at?
Yes. So my NOLAtarot.com is the main website. On Instagram, it is NOLA Tarot 504.
Mhm.
So a little bit different. So that's going to be your New Orleans Tarot and Miss Ashley reading coach with all of the reading and executive functioning coaching.
Yep. I'll put some links in the description below. Do you have somewhere
Perfect.
you'd like to tell the people to find you, or Arkansas?
They can find me in Arkansas.
I love it.
I'm going to be on the street corner selling these NOLA Tarot decks. So
Yeah.
find me there.
Yeah.
Ashley's going to be giving readings.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you ladies for coming on today. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been great.